Have you ever heard of the saying, if you love something so much, you have to let it go? Yeah, we all heard of that by now. Apparently, Universal hasn't heard of that because they keep rolling out Fast and Furious movies like the newest Pop-Tart flavor. Something every year with these Pop-Tarts. But not to get off track with Pop-Tarts and Lay's chips who have weird flavors. But anyways, but Universal has kind of done the same thing with Jurassic Park. Ah, man, Jurassic Park. Man, technically this franchise is really 32 years old, but if you want to count the movies, it's almost 30 years old. Next year it will be. But damn, I actually never thought it'd get to 6 films. But anyways, enough of that. Alright, when in the pre-production of this video, I was going to do the history of Jurassic Park franchise, but I said, nah, I'd rather do a review of each movie. But then I thought, why not both? In a way. But anyways, enough of me rambling. Sit back and listen to me trying to flow through all 5 films.
That's when the attack comes, not from the front, but from the side. From the other 2 raptors, you didn't even know were there.
Well, some of us might know, especially people born before 2000, know that Jurassic Park was a novel before it became a movie franchise. A novel created by the, let's say, decent, awesome writer, Michael Crichton. You know what? Is it Crichton or Crichton? I want to say Crichton. I heard somebody say Crichton one time. In fact, his story was already bought by Universal and Steven Spielberg Amblin Entertainment before the book was even published in 1990. Yeah, Universal knew they probably had a hit on their hands. Well, with the movie on the way, the director already selected, it was time for the actors, and the actors were picked. Did you know that Harrison Ford was considered for the role of Alan Grant before Sam Neill? Imagine Harrison Ford getting chased by raptors. It's not really much of an imagination. I can't say really seen it already, but nah, I don't think it would have worked. Also, Gwyneth Paltrow was considered for the role of Ellie Sattler, but that eventually went to Laura Dern.
Must go faster.
This film was a technical wonder, meaning the dinosaurs that starred in this film were animatronic dinosaurs capable of moving like real beasts. So lifelike. As a young kid, I thought people were really getting ripped apart by dinosaurs. I was a stupid ass kid. Alright, this film was released on June 11, 1993. Almost 30 years before the release of the newest film. Released on a $63 million budget. Jurassic Park earned a lot of money, breaking records all over the place. So we all know this kind, soft-spoken billionaire John Hammond, he was the opposite in the novel, decides to build a theme park based on dinosaurs. Like, yeah, this might just work. His first mistake was thinking to get scientists to create dead dinosaurs, contain them into a theme park setting. When I first saw that opening scene of this film, on a trip to Florida for the first time, 6-year-old me was horrified. Seeing a man dragged by his legs into a raptor cage gutted me. It got to my soul, got me shaking. The cries of "Shoot her!" was just as bad. They still haunt me to this day.
Shoot her!
Now think about it, that trip was kind of dim by seeing that scene. I don't know why. 6-year-old me was stupid, like I said before. Then we get to build up the introduction of Alan Grant, of course, John Hammond and Ellie. And for some reason, as a kid, I like Alan Grant. I don't know why. Maybe because he was a man's man. As much as he loved dinosaurs, he knew having real dinosaurs confined on an island for a circus show was a bad idea in the history of bad ideals.
The conclusions, but look. Dinosaurs and man, two species separated by 65 million years of evolution, have just been suddenly thrown back into the mix together. How can we possibly have the slightest idea of what to expect?
Maybe it was the hat, or he was a stoic man, a smart man, but also was brave when it came to those kids, bringing them to safety. But he also didn't like kids. This is true. Anyways, John Hammond recruits Grant Sandler to critique and experience the full power of Jurassic Park, along with Hammond's lawyer and the eccentric Ian Malcolm, my favorite second character out of this franchise.
Oh, there it is. There it is.
And have dinosaurs on your dinosaur tour, right? Hello? Oh, hello? Yes?
I really hate that man.
Ian Malcolm was, like I said, eccentric, he was quotable and lovable, but all that would change later on. I mentioned before the animatronics. They was absolutely amazing in this film. Behind the scenes, the machines were, I don't know, like tough to handle at times during the film. You know, the, let's say, the most, do we want to call that the best scene ever? Nah, I don't want to say the best scene ever, but the famous T-Rex scene. There was problems keeping that T-Rex dry. The Rex would shake like a stripper on the pole when touched by water. But let's talk about this T-Rex scene right quick. I will have to say this was an excellent scene. Probably one of the most iconic scenes in all of cinema history. Come on now. The scene is set up perfectly. The power going out. The two explorers stuck in front of the T-Rex enclosure. The water ripples in the cup. The footsteps of the Rex approaching louder and louder. The goat disappearing. The kids start freaking out. The backstabbing lawyer flees into the bathroom, leaving the kids and the explorer all by themselves. But I got one question about this scene. How in the hell did the Rex get across the freaking moat that separates the road from the T-Rex pen? Somebody please tell me that. I'm sorry for yelling. But how did that happen? There was a moat right there, you know? There was a moat. Supposedly, I don't know. It's questions I need answered. Did the Rex jump over the moat? How did it get over there? I don't know. The more you think about it, the more it wraps my mind and kills my mind. Anyways, the T-Rex approaching the two raptors standing over them, looking all menacingly. Well, you guys know what happens next. The T-Rex tore up the explorer, pinning the kids inside, eating the lawyer, and almost killing Ian Malcolm. Excellency of chaos. Now, as the film continues, Hammond sees what happens when these monsters are unleashed. The film continues to get more violent, with the message of being, don't play God, you stupid asshole. Especially with animals who haven't been alive in many, many years. And they don't know what they really are, don't know what time it is, day it is, and century. Stupid mother. Anyways. Now there are some gentle moments in this movie. For example, Alan Grant with the kids in the trees observing the brontosaurus or brachiosaurus, wherever one they was. And then things get real dark after that. And then we got the raptors. The raptors out. With the raptors out, the film gets crazier. And like I said, darker. Avoiding the rated R rating. And just so you know, the novel is highly violent. And the film was going to be violent, but Universal said no to this. Universal wanted that toy money. They wanted to sell toys for this movie, so no rated R movie. Plus they wanted kids to see this movie, so no rated R movie. But we got to blame a lot of things that happened in this movie that gone wrong in this movie on a person that some of us all know and love if we watch Seinfeld. Newman! Yes, Newman, aka Dennis Nedry, really messed up things for his love of money and his greed, and had everybody getting all fucked up. Yeah, I said it. he's not all to blame, but yeah, he's some to blame. But going back to the Raptors, they tore through some of the characters like Screaming Al Jackson.
Oh! You open it!
He didn't really get to see him scream in this movie, really. Here's the reason why. Did you know that Samuel L. Jackson's character Ray Honor was supposed to get a nasty death scene? But that was canceled due to bad weather on Hawaii and sets being destroyed. They even had fake legs, ripped out legs and arms for him. Yeah, they was really gonna film that violent ass scene. And it also did well for Robert Muldoon. It's sad that they killed him off. I think in the novel he actually survived. But these raptors are some menaces, total savages. But to get their ass whipped by the T-Rex at the end of the film, giving us another iconic shot of the T-Rex in the building. But how did that T-Rex get into the building? We kind of know how the Indominus Rex got into the building in Jurassic World, but how did that T-Rex get into the building? And has anybody ever really peeped this scene when the raptors break into the kitchen and you see something weird in the scene that looks off? It's kind of quick, but I actually had to pause it one day.
Nah, it'll be fine.
Overall, this film is a classic, an iconic classic, so popular that it gave way to a franchise and a popularity of dinosaurs and a lesson of trying to be God. A franchise, once again, that expanded upon it. You know what, Jurassic Park, before I even go on, I probably will say this later on, Jurassic Park is, like, you have Star Wars, and you have, like, I guess now Marvel and DC, and Lord of the Rings, other than that. Jurassic Park is up there when it comes to iconic franchise. Did you know that Universal really, not just improved their coinage, movie-wise, they really improved their coinage, with the theme parks, because if it wasn't for Jurassic Park, I don't think Universal Studios would be what it is, theme park. But we'll get to that in a later episode of this series. Yes, this will become a series. But will these humans learn their lesson? Absolutely not. And memories of the ones we lost in Jurassic Park. Oh man.
Mr. Hammond, after careful consideration, I've decided not to endorse your park.
Nah, it'll be fine.
Yay, a sequel. We all love those, right? Right? Right?
Right? Wrong.
Anyways, let's get into it. The Lost World Jurassic Park is a weird movie, right? But it's an enjoyable movie. Well, maybe for some. Initially, when released over Memorial Day weekend of 1997, it received mixed to positive reviews from audiences. I, for one, don't really have a problem with said film. Based on a novel of the same name, a novel that I haven't even started yet, but some of the characters and plot are changed for the film. Since Jurassic Park, the book and the film were successful, Michael Crichton, I said that word again, Michael Crichton wrote a sequel published in 1995 and was greenlighted for a film like always. Filming took place in late summer of 1996 and ending in December of 1996, with filming in locations like Hawaii and California. Plus, there was more CGI than the previous film. Too much CGI these days. Originally, Michael Crichton refused to write a sequel, and Steven Spielberg was just going to make his own sequel anyway if he had to. And the sequel being based around that lost can of DNA that Newman lost in the original movie. But Crichton disagreed to. Plus, Spielberg, at first, he wasn't up for a sequel, as he wanted to focus on getting DreamWorks off the ground, but he ended up doing it anyway. The rest is history. Well, Crichton, Spielberg, and fellow Wisconsinite screenwriter David Koepp got into a smoky room and generated ideas together for the new film script. Casting for the film with Richard Attenborough and Jeff Goldblum will return. This time, Goldblum leading the film. Newcomers will be Julianne Moore as Sarah Hardy, Ian Malcolm's girlfriend and scientist, funny man Vince Vaughn as Nick Vallon, Pete Potosewicz as the big badass big game hunter Roland Timbo, and the main villain to the story, the greedy Peter Ludlow, played by Arliss Howard, who I thought was British, but he's really American. Played the movie with the whole British accent. Well, this film had a budget of $173 million, made more than its budget multiple times over, and had a lot of marketing behind it. Like, I used to have posters for this movie in my room, and plus toys. And this would be the first film to use the 1997 and 2012 Universal Pictures logo with the fanfare by Jerry Goldsmith. Okay, let's get into this film. So, 4 years after the kerfuffle, I said that, at Jurassic Park, there was another island. It's Histroy. And this rich British family decides to have a beach day, but their little girl is attacked by compies, or compiosaurus, whatever you want to call them. That little girl will become the beautiful woman named Camilla Bell, who starred in that goofy ass film, The Stranger Calls. It's a bad film. Anyways, the scene transitions to Ian Malcolm getting on a subway, a goofy transition. But anyways, why is Malcolm getting on a subway in San Diego? Like, San Diego doesn't have any subways. I've been there plenty of times. Unless Hammond lives in LA, which do have a subway called the Metro Rail. But we have no clue on the location of John Hammond's residence. But also assuming that's San Diego, unless someone else knows more than I do about where he lives at. Anyways, Malcolm meets Hammond at his residence, and Hammond appears jolly and Scottish and a billionaire, but he's also alien to health, from what it seems. And he's also been ran out of engine thanks to his evil, greedy ass nephew, Peter Ludlow, who is now in charge of engine and plans on bringing Jurassic Park to San Diego.
Bad idea.
Malcolm learns Hammond that his girlfriend, Sarah Hardy, is on the second island, is Histroy, the island where some of these beasts were cared for before shipped to the other island. She's on the island studying the great beast. Malcolm flips out. Yeah, he flips out kinda. In some weird passive calm manner. But joins Hammond's expedition crew day he has going over there. But we find out Malcolm has a daughter who the two really don't see eye to eye. Nah, I'll mention that later. Let's talk about Malcolm right quick. The man has changed. He wants no parts of that island. He wants no smoke from them dinosaurs. And he's a little bit more serious in the previous film. It was jokey in the previous film. But then again, anyone will be a little bit more stern and a little bit more serious and a little bit more flipping out when it comes to dinosaurs, and you've been flipped around by a T-Rex. So, along with Ian Malcolm, there's Eddie Carr and Nick Vallon, an environmentalist, and unknowingly Malcolm's daughter Kelly arrive on the island to find Sarah. And they find Sarah but run into a bunch of stegosaurus who kind of territorial. That's a theme in this movie. Then they discover Ludlow has a whole expedition crew arriving on the island ready to capture the dinosaurs and use them for the new park in San Diego. But the main crew says hell no to this and free some of the dinosaurs from Ludlow's grip. But also Nick and Sarah find a baby T-Rex who was injured by the big badass big game hunter Roland Timbo, whose only goal in this movie is to capture a buck, a male T-Rex. But Timbo is a badass.
Put him down. One foot. Good. Get out of here, Mike.
I meant my hand.
Well, anyway, Sarah helps the baby T-Rex, nurture her back to health somewhat, but there's always consequences to your actions. So guess what happens next? Mama and Daddy T-Rex, full bonnet on, full do-rag on with some black Air Force Ones on, come to the cruise camp on Demon Time looking for their son, like any responsible parent would. As you can call it responsible. I guess they was hunting. But anyways, well, Sarah gives the baby T-Rex back and the Black Force Energy Rexes leave. But do they really leave? Once again on Demon Time, the Rexes try knocking over the trailer over the cliff. But Karl comes to the rescue, trying to pull Ian, Sarah, and Nick to safety, but the Black Air Force Energy and bonnet do-rag wearing T-Rexes come again, this time helping themselves to Karl's tasty inside, splitting this man into two pieces. But the trio is saved, but they lose everything when that trailer and that Mercedes SUV fall to the seas below. The trio is actually saved by Timbo and Engine, and the crew have to all work together along with Engine to survive that island, but they run into compies who jump a man, beat this man up and eat him. The T-Rexes again, who are really pissed and more territorial than the Stegosauruses were. Yeah, they're really pissed that these humans are on their block trying to run stuff. And then they run into also a bunch of raptors, and lots of engine hunters are taken out in the... Well, Timbo's best friend becomes a meal in the long grass, but Timbo ends up capturing that male T-Rex, and Kelly plays gymnastics with the raptors. A scene which angered a lot of people till this day. But looking back, it's goofy, but not as bad as people make it out to be, but still goofy. During this time, Nick finds help. Ian and Kelly, Sarah, Nick, they are saved off that damn island, but discover that the male T-Rex has been captured. Timbo is not too happy after learning his friend did not make it, and the victory of capturing the T-Rex is not as sweet as he thought it would be. See, Timbo may have hunted many animals, now including a T-Rex, but he's not a monster of a man. He has morals, and even rejects Ludlow's offering him a job at Jurassic Park. Roland Timbo would end up saying he spent enough time in the company of death, which makes sense. But when I was 7, I thought Roland Timbo was played by Patrick Stewart. Oh, what a dumbass kid I was back.
You are stupid. You are.
Now this is where the movie changes from a Jurassic Park film to a Godzilla film. Alright, some of us might know this movie by heart. Okay, we know the boat that crashes in the San Diego Bay, called the USS Venture, crashes in the San Diego Bay in the docks. Dock officials go to the boat and everything, along with Ian, Malcolm, and Sarah, because they know that T-Rex is on board. And then they discover that everyone on board is dead, only leaving hands behind. Now help me understand this. How were these men killed? The T-Rex is too big to do this. You know what? Play the clip.
Boy, ain't no way, boy. Boy, ain't no way, boy.
Too big to walk into the command room. There ain't no way. There ain't no fucking way. Yeah, I edit myself. The baby T-Rex could have done it, but it could have done that on a broken leg. And it never really tasted human blood. It never hunted down humans before. And it certainly was a raptor. That would have been a little bit bloodier than just hands just leaving behind. So, that's a mystery that hasn't been solved. Maybe somebody has solved it. I don't know. Let me know. But the male T-Rex escapes in San Diego, having a grand old time, trying to be like Godzilla in the city, eating screenwriters. Ka-ching, ka-ching. Even added my own sound effects in there. eating family dogs, drinking pool water, running over buses, knocking over 76 gas station signs, just being an absolute menace to society. But quick thinking from Ian and Sarah, they decide to lure the T-Rex back to the boat by taking the son of the T-Rex from the new Jurassic Park. It works, and father and son are reunited in the boat. For some stupid reason, Peter Ludlow, let's play this clip right quick.
Now you're John Hammond.
Yes, he realizes he's John Hammond now that that T-Rex is going out and crazy. But some reason, Peter Ludlow decides to go into the boat to chase the baby T-Rex for some reason. And he becomes T-Rex food for the Rex's adventure back to their homeland. And then we have John Hammond talking about the beauty of dinosaurs and no one should really be allowed to go anywhere close to the island, while as what's his daughter's name? I forgot. Oh yeah, Kelly watches this interview on TV while Ian and Sarah pass the hell out from their crazy probably 48 hours. Alright, and that's pretty much the end. And we get the last scene with the T-Rex and all the dinosaurs. This movie's a crazy one with the gymnastics and tell the different movies, but it's still a classic of mine to this day. I think this film does get a lot of flack due to that scene in the last part, but overall it's not that bad, but to each his own. I would give this film a 7 out of 10, probably the second best film in this franchise. But the humans learn a valuable lesson in this movie. Leave them damn animals alone. They do not like you. They only like you because they want to eat you as food. Leave them damn animals alone. But my only question here, well, not a question, but where is the resemblance between the father and daughter in this movie?
When you guys got back, yeah.
You see any family resemblance here?
Now, Ian Malcolm is a white man, while Kelly looks full African American. But she wasn't adopted, so in order for her to be a combination of a white man and a black woman mating, would she be just a little bit lighter? I don't want to get into colorism, but come on now, would she be a little bit lighter? But anyways, I don't want to attract the weirdos out here. But according to Steven Spielberg, Kelly wasn't supposed to be Ian Malcolm's daughter, but a student similar to what she is in the novel. But the idea was thrown out due to, I don't know, reasons. And I guess Ian Malcolm suddenly had an African American daughter. But I got another question for you. Do these humans really learn their lesson from going to that island? Absolutely not. In memory of the ones we lost. Oh man.
is the crew?
All over the place.
Part 3, the last of the original trilogy. I really do hate saying that. It gives me Star Wars vibes. I really do. Jurassic Park 3 went down a difficult road in pre-production, during filming, during post-production, as well as a filming whole. It was different from the previous two films. Now I won't spend too much time on the background, but there was no Spielberg as director. It was his friend Joe Johnston who almost left the film due to creative differences. Sam Neill returned, but only returned to improve on his role from the first film. The film was rough. William H. Macy said most of the cast was pretty bruised up, angry most of the time during the filming delays in the script, different ideas in the script. Originally, one of the dinosaurs would find itself on the mainland, meaning that was one of the original scripts. The dinosaur would become a serial killer, different screenwriters, a fight between raptors in the U.S. military, just a lot of kerfuffle going on. With all that, the film was released on July 18, 2001 by Universal Amblin Entertainment with a total at the box office at $368 million on a $23 million budget, earning mixed reviews. See, I like the concept of the movie, but during its now 21 years of existence, I have mixed feelings about it. The film enters the same formula as the previous. We're going to the island, but this time, a kid and his future stepdaddy disappear on Isla Sorna, the second island, of course. We see what Dr. Alan Grant has been up to since Jurassic Park 1, still studying dinosaurs, still burning the midnight oil, particularly when it comes to the Velociraptor. Laura Dern returns to the series as Ellie Sattler, but now she's married to some government goon and has 2 kids. Something really Alan never really wanted, so you see how that relates. Meanwhile, Grant giving out, I don't know, speech, seminar, who knows, asks if he ever visit Isla Sorna to study these animals, and he says this.
Saying that you wouldn't want to get onto Isla Sorna and study them if you had the chance?
No force on earth or heaven could get me on that island.
Sounds like me when I don't want to do anything anybody else wants to do, or you get the point. Alan Grant's assistant Billy are enticed by a rich man named Paul Kirby and his wife Amanda. They want to pay Grant and his dig if they tour the island by air, the second island by air. But you know what happens next. They land on that damn island anyway and run into the new big bad, the Spinosaurus, who's really not having it. Of course, people are eating. Did I say that wrong? Of course, people are eating, not eating. Nobody eats. I think some people do eat, but anyways, it's not important. But not as eating. Man, that sounds wrong again. People are not eating, not as much as the previous film. Only 2, really.
No one can stop this plane!
The survivors are not only chased by the Spino, but raptors too. Grant finds out the Kirbys are not what they say they are. They're really looking for their son. And Paul and Amanda are divorced. Then they're looking for their son and Amanda's boyfriend, who is found dead on the island, decomposing. Probably killed by compies. Who knows? Maybe raptors. We don't know. Scared the hell out of me with that reveal. As an 11-year-old. Billy decides to steal raptor eggs, so the reason that's the raptors on this. Billy sacrifices himself when the survivors enter the bird cage. More are getting chased by the Spino, which they end up getting off their ass. They get back the eggs to the raptors, well, after the raptors pretty much shake them down a corner before they leave the island. They're saved by the U.S. military due to Sattler and her government goon husband, and Billy does survive, clutching Grant's hat at the end. The end.
You rescued Grant.
Dr. Grant, we need to go now.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's the important thing.
This film is a lesson in not skydiving close to one of the most dangerous, perhaps probably the most dangerous place in the world. It caused multiple deaths in this movie. That's what happens when you do stuff you ain't supposed to do. I do say this. At least they don't go to the island trying to harvest dinosaurs again. Let's talk about the Spinosaurus. Probably the best thing out this movie. The dino was scary. It was relentless. It was bigger. Supposedly more powerful than the Rex and quite a stalker to go along with the phone noise. Fans were not happy about the Spino killing the Rex, believing the Rex was more a danger, more powerful bite force. But look at them damn Spinosaurus hands. Look at them arms. Of course he's gonna beat the T-Rex. Look at the Spinosaurus arms. Look at the T-Rex arms. Anyways, my only question: where was this dinosaur during the events of the Lost World? This is what I hate about some of these franchises sometimes. I don't know if it's explained in a comic book or a book or whatever, but this is bad. It's bad story. It's bad writing when it comes to this. They did this in Star Wars recently, trying to explain. They do this all the time, but I'm just saying it's bad. It's bad when you're trying to explain stuff and you're trying to point to a novel or a comic book as reference to explain something happening in the movie. But anyways, but maybe apparently that dinosaur was created after the events of Lost World, maybe during the events of Lost World, maybe somebody triggered something to create. Who knows? With this franchise, as we know by now, sometimes you just have to use your imagination for things to make sense. And why didn't any of the main characters didn't hear this great beast coming in one scene? Originally, the Spinosaurus was to get a death scene, but when Alan Grant uses that raptor voice box chamber thing, he has a group of raptors attack the dinosaur and kill it. Glad that wasn't written. That wasn't corny. Now, the Spinal animatronic was quite impressive. I have done a video on both the T-Rex and the Spinosaurus, but the robot for this dino was pretty hefty to create and move around that Universal backlot. It took legendary special effects creator Stan Winston and his team to move this thing around, even knocking down walls to move it, creating a special trailer to move it. Plus, this thing was like a Ferrari to the T-Rex's Honda Civic, meaning in operation mode, the Spinosaurus can move at 100, operate on 1,000 horsepower compared to the Rex's 300 horsepower. And Billy, why did you take raptor eggs? It's already rough when raptors come hungry looking for you, but stealing raptor eggs for money? You know these damn raptors are smart and relentless.
You big dummy. You big dummy. You big cold-blooded dummy. You big dummy. See what you did? Oh, no, you big dummy.
Nonetheless, this film is third compared to the other two. It's the lowest grossing film in the series. And I will still have mixed feelings for it for I don't know, forever. It's really one of those ain't nothing to watch on Sunday, summer, afternoon films when you want to take the great American nap, just another movie. But will this be the last Jurassic Park film ever? Will the humans ever get the dinosaur theme island working without the dinosaurs breaking out? Will the humans learn from their mistakes? Tune in next time to Franchise History TV. In honor of the ones we lost in Jurassic Park 3. Amen.
It's gonna be okay, bud.
I'm going to say, I feel like on my Jurassic Park 3 review, I didn't go well and enough on that film. But then again, there's not really too much to go in on that film on. Let's recount Jurassic Park 3. Dumbass mom lets boyfriend take her son to dangerous island. Son's parents are idiots. Get old man dinosaur scientist, his dumbass assistant, and 3 mercs involved. Half of them die. Plot holes about the Spinosauruses and more about dumbass characters. Then, once again, the Jurassic Park franchise lies dormant for years. And years. And years. Oh, maybe we get a new movie soon. And years. And years. And more years. During from 2001 to 2014, Jurassic Park survived on merchandise, video games, mainly theme park rides, starting with the Jurassic Park The Ride, now known as Jurassic World The Ride at Universal Studios Hollywood, a shoot-the-chute water ride. And in Orlando, we got Jurassic Park has its own land with the Jurassic Park River Adventure and the Velocicoaster at Universal's Islands of Adventure. Then you got Universal Studios Singapore with Jurassic Park Rapids Adventure. And then Jurassic Park in Universal Studios Japan got its own land named the Jurassic Park The Ride and the Flying Dinosaur Flying Roller Coaster. And also about that little old tiny flying roller coaster at Universal Studios in Orlando. So Jurassic Park will be in good hands without a movie. But we all know these studio executives cannot help themselves. Now I'm starting to sound like the Joker. So we start getting more rumors of new Jurassic Park movies and films and all that blah 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 around 2013 and 14. Soon we get Jurassic World in the summer of 2015, starring one of the Hollywood's famous Chris Pratt. Now look, I ain't gonna lie, I was excited to see another Jurassic Park film, so I made sure to go see it the first weekend. Not the first day, but the first weekend, which I did, and here's what I thought of it. Member berries all over the place. They finally got the theme park based on dinosaurs to work, until they decided to create an angry-ass hybrid of a dinosaur who wants nothing more to rampage on that same island as the T-Rex did 22 years before. I understand they want to bring something new to that park, but once again, do these people learn from the previous films? Now, with this film, we get a man that can control raptors to a point. These great beasts are less fearsome than they was in the previous film. Now they're more like, well, they're not even wolves, they're like dogs. Aggressive ass dogs that like human flesh to a point. Plus, this movie follows the same tropes as the original film. 2 kids in the middle of chaos, connected to somebody who works at the park. New dinosaur. Raptors go crazy. Rich billionaire. Theme song plays as kids are in shock as they reach the island. Vehicle gets attacked by main dinosaur. You get the point. Now there are some good parts about this film. Then Indominus Rex Rampage. More memory berries of seeing the old rooms of the old Jurassic Park. A lady gets eaten by the Mosasaurus. I know some of y'all gonna squawk at that, because women can't get eaten by animals, I guess, only men. That's when I knew entertainment was heading to hell, when people start squawking about that. But anyways, the T-Rex, Blue, versus the Indominus Rex with a little bit of the Mosasaurus in that fight was good. But more memory berries. This whole entire movie was a bunch of memory berries. A matter of fact, now that I think about it, the year of 2015 was a year of memory berries in film. Star Wars, Terminator, Jurassic Park. Now, 2 of the 3 beaten down to the ground. Shells of themselves. With this franchise hanging on by a thread due to goofball ass writing that I will speak about later. And then you got Chris Pratt, which was also decent. The Iraqs and Kingpin carried this movie, but we know how this ends. Just like the original, the park is destroyed, dinosaurs run free, people are dead, millions in damage. Except this time, they did manage to, open the park with floods and people going in there for at least 10 years. But the big billionaire dies in this film, owed to the original novel. Except Simon Mazzarani wasn't an asshole like John Hammond was in the novel. I don't hate this movie, but damn, it's a split image of Jurassic Park.
After careful consideration, I've decided not to endorse your park.
To design the Indoraptor, I think we all remember Jurassic movies for memorable moments, moments of suspense, of tension. And in that sense, we created this dinosaur that is going to be like pretty terrific for kids, but at the same time, they're going to enjoy it a lot.
All right, let's get to it. Let's get to, excuse my language, the shit. I'd had high hopes for this movie, but I'm gonna let the balding, screaming fool on ESPN take this one away for right quick.
We have been hoodwinked, bamboozled, led astray, run amok, and flat out deceived.
Yes, everything that balding fool said was true about this movie. I was expecting the movie to be, once again, excuse my language, true horror shit, but I was wrong. It started off well with this scene right here.
Down. What? What is going on? I can't hear you.
The rain, the thunder, the shadows of the T-Rex in the background all made this scene. But this opening scene to this film was great. It was groovy. But once again, the newest addition to the Jurassic Park franchise copied another film from this series. Oh, let's kidnap some animals from the first island and bring them back to the mainland. That was the Lost World, in case some of you don't know. Like that really worked the first time. But before going into that, the film's main villain somewhat had, you know what, he had no good intentions. The only good intentions he had was his pocket. But let's go save some dinosaurs before Isla Nublar goes to hell. Stupid asses. But Ian Malcolm was right. Leave the damn dinosaurs to die on the island. But these people, of course, they never will learn. But the action on the island with Chris Pratt in the cast was legit. Chris Pratt running away from the lava and the dinosaurs trying to escape. But once again, we're laced with member berries. Once again, I'm getting really sick and tired of these movies doing this. Oh, look at the ruins of the Ford Explorer from the original film. Now look at it again before it gets destroyed by lava. Now let's kill your childhood even more by destroying the island altogether. Oh, wait a minute. Let's do a blood transfusion on a raptor using blood from a T-Rex. Nice animatronic. Oh my goodness, this movie went hayward after they left the island. Speaking of hayward, the film does become boring after leaving the island. Let's auction off some dinosaurs. Dangerous dinosaurs, might I add, to some rich idiots. Alright, let's build another hybrid dinosaur that has gone out of control. But the best is yet to come in this film. Like all Jurassic Park films, there's always a child doing dumbass shit. But let's talk about this child. Maisie, or whatever her name is. We learn she's a clone of John Hammond's business partner, Ben Lockwood's daughter, who died years ago before the events of Jurassic Park. Damn this movie. Now we're dealing with human clones? That came out of left field. You know what gets more ridiculous? Not to mention, you know what, they never mentioned Benjamin Lockwood being a business partner to John Hammond in previous movies. No nod to it, simply because Lockwood and Hammond had a falling out over Lockwood creating that clone. I get it, but damn this movie for just sticking stuff where it don't belong. But it gets better. Did I forget to mention that scientist Henry Wu has more of a presence in these two films than he had in the original? Well, in the original novel, he doesn't really last that long. He's gutted by a raptor towards the end of that novel. But in the films, he sticks around creating new hybrids, even becomes shady, dealing with both of these new films' villains. But I wonder if he's going to get gutted in Jurassic World 3. Maybe not. Anyways, the new big bad dinosaur, the Indominoraptor, is introduced to the world via the auction, and things go crazy. People are killed, the Indoraptor is killed after a fight with Blue, and some reason the writers made Blue, the raptor, an action star. Really? Damn this movie already. So all the dinosaurs escape within Lockwood's compound, whatever it is. It's just a big ass house with cages enough to fit T-Rexes in, where they transfer out, and now they're trapped into cages on the verge of dying due to fire and carbon monoxide from the explosion earlier in the film. But Chris Pratt and Opie's daughter think maybe we should let these dinosaurs die. Actually, it's more Opie's daughter thinking that. Good idea, Opie's daughter. Right.
Right? Wrong.
Guess what happens next? So the clone girl decides to let the dinosaurs out to the public as they cause havoc later on.
I had to. They're alive. Like me.
I don't know how you's done it, but I know you's done it!
Sorry about my language, but fuck you, movie. And everything it stands for. But of course, according to Universal, we need more money to compete with Disney and Warner Bros. So we need another movie! But before we get to that, we get a 2019 short film called The Battle at Big Rock, basically showing us the world after the dinosaurs have roamed free after that stupid ass kid decided to let them out. My only question is, why would you take your young family camping in the forest where there's dangerous man-eating dinosaurs roaming around? Now, I know people camp with bears and wolves, but these ain't bears and wolves. Bears and wolves can be handled to a point with a shotgun. But you're really gonna take your young kid and your wife and camp in the woods with a big ass Allosaurus out there and some plant eaters out there in the woods like this. There's a T-Rex out there. There's a raptor out there somewhere. Another, you know what? Never mind. Like the Beatles said, let it be. Just let it be. And now, 3 years later, you get another film, Jurassic World Dominion. And guess what we're going to do? According to Universal, we're going to copy what Star Wars did, what Terminator did, to a point, and so many other franchises from the past have done. Let's bring back the old characters. In this case, let's bring back Alan Grant, Ellie Sattler, and Ian Malcolm. Y'all like that, right? Y'all like that? Yeah, y'all like that. You see what Star Wars did? They had Han, Luke, Leia. They all came back. And look what they done. Oh. Let's hope Jurassic Park doesn't do the same to their older characters. But I am taking bets. Alan Grant or Ian Malcolm, which one is dying? Come on now. Place your bets. Amen.